This is Dr. Eric Fishman with EHR TV, along with Ann Fishman, and today we have the pleasure of speaking with Raul Villar, the president of ADP AdvancedMD. And so we'll be speaking with you about a lot of subject, but let's start. You've been with ADP for 22 years. Tell us about ADP and your experience there.
Yeah, ADP is a AAA rated company, one of the 4 left in the United States. We've primarily grown up as a company in the payroll and human resources segments. And most recently, we've decided to cast our net into healthcare with the acquisition of AdvancedMD in March.
And so AdvancedMD was headquartered out of Utah, and you purchased them just a little while ago. Obviously, you saw a lot of potential with them. And tell us about where they were and where you see you taking them.
Yeah, great question. So AdvancedMD is primarily focused on the small practice physician space, what we'd classify as 1 to 9 doctors. And most companies want to work with big hospitals and large health systems. But ADP grew its core business on small businesses. And we feel like we have the right appetite for small business sales distribution and servicing the small business segment. And we felt that this was a perfect fit for us for a couple reasons. One, it was small. It's about a $40 million company. Cloud-based technology, which has no legacy products, right? So we have a great cloud-based product, both practice management, electronic health record, and revenue collection. And we felt it was a good place for us to start and grow the business.
Ann has been particularly interested in cloud-based businesses. Ann?
What are your security protocols? I understand you're one of the largest in the world.
Yeah, ADP does have the largest cloud-based presence for business in the world for its payroll and human resource technology. And so for us, buying AdvancedMD was a great opportunity because it's cloud-based as well. And when you think about the cloud, you think about bank-level security, and that's what we offer with full disaster recovery, data protection services. And when you start reading the headlines in the newspapers today, most of the problems that the medical profession is facing is personnel taking files, lost servers, data integrity, HIPAA breaches, and we feel the data is much safer in the cloud. And it gives the doctor access from anywhere. And we believe that's a big benefit as their lifestyles change and they want to work from all over.
How did a young guy like you get to be president of such a big company?
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, but in all candor, I spent the last 2 decades at ADP on the sales and marketing side of the business. And when we acquired AdvancedMD, I think we look at the potential in the small doc space as enormous. And we really believe we have an advantage on the distribution side. We have 5,000 face-to-face sales reps across the U.S. For ADP that can help us. We already have 15,000 doctors' practices that use ADP for payroll. And so we're already a trusted advisor. And I think it was a great opportunity for ADP to demonstrate that we really want to grow this business fast. It's a $40 million business today. We believe it can be a $500 million business within 10 years, if not sooner. Just organically, we think we can get to a $500 million in 10 years, and we'll be at $100 million probably by the next time we talk.
What do you feel is one of the most important differentiating factors for your product as opposed to some of the others that are out there? Yeah. So yes, you've got a great sales team, and that helps, but it's nice to have a great product as well.
Our revenue collection side, we do 98% first pass claims, and that's the biggest differentiator. I mean, we're putting money into the pockets of the physicians, and clearly, especially with all the regulations going on and what's impacting their income, that's the biggest advantage we have as a business. Our practice management system for a small doc practice is the best in class.
And for years I've thought of AdvancedMD as a revenue cycle management product. Tell me about your documentation ability. Tell me about how you're expanding into allowing physicians to prove meaningful use.
Yeah, so a little over 18 months ago, we bought an electronic health record firm, Practice One, in Washington State. It was an excellent product. We fully integrated it into our platform. So today, we offer all physicians an opportunity to achieve meaningful use with our EHR and PM system together. We got certified in May, and we're excited. I think the next step, though, it's not just certification and meaningful use, it's really redesigning the workflow for the doctor, because the doctors that we talk to every day, you know, while the tool works and the money's nice, it's really not as efficient as they would like. So what we're spending our time is how can we make the product simple, easy, intuitive, and follow the workflow of the doctor.
Workflow is one of my personal interests, and particularly as it relates to input methodology, speech recognition. And so do you have any preferred advice for the physician users as to how they should get the narrative in, the history, for instance?
Yeah, we don't have a speech recognition product yet. We haven't found the right one to integrate into the platform. We're hoping to find one here.
What will be the impact of ICD-10, and what would your company be doing in terms of playing a role to maybe alleviate the burden?
Yeah, I mean, when you take a step back and think about all the regulation that's in the industry today, we just got past meaningful use phase 1. We have 5010 that's going on right now for January, and then we have ICD-10, you know, coming up a year from now. You know, when you take a step back and think about what's required for a physician and their team to get that done, I mean, it's kind of mind-boggling. And I think, you know, the great thing for AdvancedMD is, you know, we have the power of ADP behind us, and our clients are confident that we'll be able to invest in the technology to do that, because going from, you know, 15,000 billing codes to 180,000 billing codes is amazing. And it's going to, you know, really change the dynamics for the physician. So I think the folks that are using the cloud, it's going to be simpler, easier, and we'll be able to deploy our solution in real time to all the physicians' offices. If you're using old technology, client-server technology, you're going to have a lot more challenges with all these different regulations, because every time one comes out and they put a patch in their software, they have to get you the update, and you're responsible for upgrading it, versus if you can get to Google, you can get to AdvancedMD, and you'll be able to meet ICD-10 regulations.
As I've heard said, it's so yesterday, that other technology.
Yeah.
Here at MGMA, we've been doing something, playing the acronym game.
Sure.
And so if you don't mind, let me say an acronym and tell me what, you know, first thing that comes to your mind. So ACO.
Well, I mean, I think ACOs is really going to be the wave of the future, whether it's an ACO or an HIE or whatever the acronym is. Ultimately, all of the payers, providers, and technology companies like AdvancedMD are going to all have to play in the same sandbox, right? And it's about portability of data, interoperability of our solutions. So a critical component for us, you know, as a provider for small physicians, to make sure our products are interoperable. So if they decide to become part of a hospital group, they'll be able to take our data and submit it in and not have to go with one of the large, expensive applications that the hospital is going to want them to use, which is not user-friendly for the small doc practice. And so I think ACOs in their current format yet to be defined. I think we just, you know, recently had some good changes in the regulations, but I think it will still be defined. But over time, it's just about the ability to move data more efficiently so doctors can get the patient record and make the right decisions and improve patient care.
Very good. Now let's try one more, RCM.
Yeah, revenue collection is a critical component. Again, when you think about what's going on in healthcare and the cost of healthcare across the country, obviously there's payers and there's providers, and ultimately the providers appear to be the ones that are giving up the most revenue in the equation to make healthcare more affordable. And so I believe the ability to provide tools for providers to be able to make sure that they get paid appropriately from the payers is critical. And so we're excited because we know that we help providers maximize their income and make sure that they get what they deserve for the patient care that they deliver.
Is adoption as widespread as you would have thought at this point? Are we on target?
Yeah, I think at the upper end of the marketplace, so call it your mid-sized practices in your hospital and health systems, adoption of electronic health records is really high, 70–80%. I think at the low end of the marketplace, it's still growing. It's probably 30–35%, but every day that goes by, those late adopters are moving on to the technology. And I think within 12 months, you'll see 50–60% adoption of a health record, electronic health record, on the small end of the
So we'll meet the ARA targets?
Well, I hope so. We're trying to help.
So, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is Dr. Eric Fishman and Ann Fishman From EHR TV, we've been speaking with Raul Villar, President of ADP AdvancedMD. Well, thank you.